Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Chinese Grand Prix in review. Now this upload is going to be happening a day after the actual Chinese Grand Prix, so if you haven't seen it, please turn away from this video because it has a lot of spoilers, okay? So again, just carry on from my new series that I decided up for the beginning of the Grand Prix weekends. I'm going to do a preview and obviously of that weekend, and then after the race we'll have a review. So if you have not watched the Grand Prix, I urge you to go see it before you actually listen to this review, because it contains many spoilers. Also in the background is some background gameplay for you to just keep you occupied whilst I talk about this. As of qualifying, Lewis Hamilton qualified on pole position ahead of Nico Rosberg. Sebastian Vettel was in the Ferrari, was third, ahead of Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas of the Williams pair. And Kimi Raikkonen had struggled in qualifying a bit, and just didn't hook up the lap and came 6th in qualifying, with Daniel Ricciardo in 7th for Red Bull, 8th with Romain Grosjean in the Lotus, 9th was Felipe Nasr in the Sauber, Marcus Ericsson was 10th, and then Maldonado in Lotus was 11th, 12th with Kvyat in the Red Bull, with Max Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Jr. in Toro Rosso 13th and 14th, Perez was 15th with his teammate Hulkenberg in 16th, Button and McLaren, including Alonso, were both struggling in qualifying, just couldn't hook it up, and was 17th and 18th, with Will Stevens Manor and Roberto Merri in 20th as well. So that's how the grid formed. And then in the race, Hamilton won the Grand Prix, was pretty much in control of it for the way through. He was just clearing his tyres, obviously around China, quite high degradation. So high deg kicking for all the drivers. I think both Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes were very much worried about the Ferraris. Obviously they had a very good tyre wear in Malaysia, so they were very much worried about tyre wear and keeping the Ferraris behind, because they knew if they had worn their tyres down, then Ferrari would come behind. Nico Rosberg came second to complete Mercedes 1-2 with Sebastian Vettel and Raikkonen in P3 and 4. So by then it sort of started going 2 by 2. So we then had Massa and then Bottas in 5th and 6th. Grosjean was 7th for Lotus. A good day for Lotus. I think they had really good pace. Apparently they were matching Williams' pace throughout the weekend. And then Nasr was 8th ahead of Daniel Ricciardo in 9th, who was really struggling. Had a really bad start in the race. Marcus Ericsson was 10th. Perez was 11th ahead of Alonso in 12th, with Carlos Sainz Jr. in 13th. Button was 14th. Had a little bit of an incident with Maldonado towards the end of the Grand Prix. I think it was lap 52, where it was coming up to the first corner, and I think Jensen just slightly misjudged where Maldonado was pointing his car. They had a fantastic battle before that point, and then I think they ended up with a crash. I think Button, he held his hands up and he had a misjudgment, and he had had 2 points from his licence with a time penalty for that race. Stevens was 15th ahead of Roberto Merri with 16th, so both runners were finished, and the retires with Max Verstappen. He was having an incredible race before that point, and the Renault engine was pretty poor in that race. It suffered so many problems with the Renault engine, he retired, but he was racing so well. He overtook Marcus Ericsson so many times, both the Saubers actually. He was very aggressive, and he's definitely a champion in the future. If he gets him in a better car, I'll tell you something, he's going to be good. Maldonado was, obviously Lotus retired as well, obviously with a brake issue after the incident with Button, and then Kvyat retired for Red Bull, and Nico Hulkenberg did as well, beginning with a gearbox issue. That's how the race panned out. But after the race, we had a bit of a problem with Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton. It looks like that the two have clashed once again in the row. Nico felt that Lewis was driving too slowly, preserving his tyres too much, and he felt that he was being backed into Sebastian Vettel. He felt that also, Sebastian was able to try the undercut and jump Nico, which put him in a bit of a position. I can see where he's coming from, but I just think he's blown it out of proportion. It was the way Lewis was driving. He was driving to preserve his tyres, and he just blew it out of proportion. I think he's just looking for someone to blame. He isn't quick enough at this moment in time. He knows Lewis has got the upper hand over him, and he just is just looking for someone to blame. And there's been a constant row between the two of them, and they've just clashed again. And I just think that this season it's just going to be maybe like a repeat from last year. So I really hope it doesn't. I hope they do race cleanly, but just Nico, he's just looking for someone to blame. And I think he's just under fire. I don't think he hasn't got it against Lewis Hamilton this year. I don't think, but we'll see. And maybe it is something for him to actually start firing away and getting quicker against Lewis Hamilton. So let me know what you think, guys, in the comment section. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll be back with another preview soon. So guys, I'll see you later, and bye.